Hey guys, welcome to Morning Motivation. Happy Monday. So, for today, for your little daily dose of sunshine or thought for the day, I don't even know what to call it sometimes, um, but I want to encourage you to question everything. And from being a therapist on the mental health unit in the hospital, what I see sometimes is that people define themselves by their diagnosis or their label, and and then others define them by it as well, and that can be really detrimental to the way that we view the world and we view ourselves because we think we are defined by it. We think that, oh, well, I have this diagnosis, and so that means I'm going to respond these ways. That means that these are the kind of things that I deserve, or people say those things to us. And so sometimes I've heard people say that because they have a certain disorder, that's why they have been abused, and that's why they've been hurt in the past or taken advantage of or raped. And this is not the case at all. It is not anybody's right or anybody's ownership to be able to do those kind of things to other people. And it's not okay for that to happen to anyone. So whether you have a disorder or whether you have some kind of label, it does not pigeonhole you, and it does not mean that you are the scapegoat for all the problems that have happened around you. It may just be that you're trying to make sense of all these things that are not natural for us to experience on the daily, and whether it's been trauma in your past or other issues that you've tried to overcome. And sometimes it can look a certain way or it can look like a certain disorder for a time. But really, once we break through that time and once we learn what we need to learn from that, then we can move on and be our best selves. But just because you have a diagnosis or a label of some kind does not mean that that defines you or that that is who you are. So please, 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 if you do have some kind of diagnosis or you've been labeled as something negative, try to view it as a learning experience. Anytime you've been given a label or a diagnosis, then try to think about what of this may apply to me, or what could I learn from these kind of practices. And so, for instance, when I was having such a hard time a couple years ago, the therapist that I was seeing was telling me that maybe I had borderline personality disorder. And as I looked into it and as I researched it, at that time, yes, I felt like that defined me. And even at really difficult times now, sometimes I occasionally feel like it defines me. And oh, yes, I fit these things, but ultimately, I don't think I have that. And then when I look at kind of what helps certain people through that diagnosis or other diagnoses that we've been given. Major depressive disorder is a big one in the crisis unit. So major depressive disorder, anxiety, ADHD. So bipolar, maybe there are things that you associate within that, and maybe there are certain characteristics that you have that, based on your prior experiences, based on your history, your way of trying to deal or cope, they may look a certain way, but we can learn how to cope and how to deal with it. And so when we start to look into the ways that we've been diagnosed, but then also what are the treatments and the strategies that they suggest for dealing with that. So yes, you may realize I fit into all these criteria, and yes, that does fit with me, but there are a variety of treatments that you can also consider as far as like how to overcome it or how to deal with it or get better through it. So your action step, I guess, for today is just to research as much as you can. Maybe you don't have a diagnosis, but maybe you've been kind of pigeonholing somebody and you notice, okay, well, I've tried to paint them in this certain way because I know they have this diagnosis. And is there anything that you can do to learn about that instead of judging it, instead of saying, oh, well, all these kind of people are this way? What are some things that you can learn about it, and keep an open mind to what you may find? It may be a lot different than you realize. It may completely fit with that person, and if it does, maybe you can find some ways to deal with that kindly with them and work with them. So, but we can all be better humans just by learning a little bit about what is going on with our own mental health and the mental health of those that we care about. So please, 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 bottom line, don't just accept your diagnosis or your labels, and try to learn about it as much as you can, and then grow through the treatments that they suggest for dealing with those kind of things. So if you have any questions on this, please, I'm always here, and just let me know. You can send me a message, find me on Instagram or Facebook. So I'm on Simply Inspired Coaching on Instagram, so that's a good place to message me, or the same title with at gmail.com. So Simply Inspired Coaching at gmail.com. So I'm here for you. I'm here to answer any questions. I'm here to talk to you and let you know that you are a valid person, that I see you, and that I know that you are amazing. We all are amazing. We all are unique in our own ways, and we need to own that and see that for ourselves. So with that, I hope you have a great day. Thanks, guys.